Hello, everybody, and welcome. There are about 26 people connected. I'll wait just one more minute to start. So thank you for waiting. Okay, I think we can start. We are about 30 people online. Thank you for your interest. My name is Giulia Marrazzo. I work at Eurocrea Merchant and the European Digital Learning Network, who are the organizer of this event. And today we will talk about school innovation labs and social entrepreneurship in the classroom, based on the experience of two Erasmus Plus projects, which are Scilab and Desire. Before starting, just some technical remarks. On this platform, you are all muted except for the speakers. So you are in listen-only mode, but you can interact with us by using the question and answers option in the control panel that you have on your right. So feel free to write questions anytime, and then we will address them during the Q&A. You also have the option to raise your hand in case you want to ask a question directly, and we can open your microphone if we have time for that, so that you can ask your question directly to the speakers. Let me now present the agenda of this webinar. So we will start with an introduction about school innovation and school innovation labs, presenting the experience of the Scilab project. And we will hear from guest speakers who are teachers involved in the schools that are partners of the project. We will have Susanna Sanchez from Portugal, the school cluster of Alcanena. She's a physics and chemistry teacher. After that, we will hear from Ilias Batjoannis, who is a STEM teacher at Platon School in Katerini, Greece. Then we will have Anita Jokic, who is a Master of Education and English Language teacher at the First Gymnasium School in Rijeka, Croatia. And finally, Anita Karimova, who is English and German language teacher at the Professional School of Ecology and Biotechnology in Sofia, Bulgaria. After this first part, we will have time for some questions. And then we will connect to the topic of social entrepreneurship by the experience of the Desire project, and I will show you a training platform that we developed and can be used also in school innovation labs. So this is our agenda. It will take about 1.5 hours to cover everything. I hope the time will be enough. So why school innovation? Why is it important? Of course, there's a lot of research on that, but the main points that I wanted to highlight are, first, that students have different learning approaches and need to be stimulated in different ways. Secondly, that we are, as we know, in a changing world, so the 21st century skills that we need are different than those that we learned at school, for example. So we need to stay up to the pace. And then these skills are, for example, creative thinking, problem solving, entrepreneurship, and social entrepreneurship, which are not always necessarily included in the traditional school program and curricula. Then another point is that technology is now everywhere, so we need to teach our pupils how to use it and how to use it well. And last but not least, school should be fun. It should be appealing to learn new things. So for that, we need constantly to keep up and update our way of teaching. I wanted to share some points of these OECD studies because the quality of education, of course, depends a lot on the quality of teachers. And I'm sure we all can think of one teacher or more that inspired us when we were a kid at school. So this study is very interesting because it claims that innovation is not just giving a tool to teacher, but it's really investing in their development as professionals, and therefore teaching them how to adapt to the class, how to adapt to different needs of every student. So it's quite a complex issue, but it's a challenge for teachers to do that. It's not easy. And this study gives 6 clusters of innovation that help us understanding in a bit more practical way what we mean with school innovation. So for example, it highlights embodied learning, so using body, emotions, and creativity. Experiential learning, so inquiry in a complex world. Computational thinking, using ICTs and teaching digital literacy, using blended learning, so with online education and creating group dynamics. Gamification is another important item, so playing to learn new things. And finally, multiliteracy and discussion to promote the linguistic diversity and questioning. You will receive the link to this study in the chat if you want to read more about it. So now let's go to the topic of our project, Schools Innovation Labs. This is a 2 years Erasmus Plus project involving 8 European partners across Europe, of which 4 schools that you will hear speaking later. And the goal is to introduce innovation labs that we call Ilabs in short in school education. So maybe some of you now are wondering what are innovation labs actually. But before telling you that, I want to ask you to send you a poll to answer. You should see it now appearing on your screen. Have you ever heard about innovation labs before? Okay. Okay, so far. Okay, people are still answering. Of course, there are many people involved already in our project, so they know, but there's also a percentage that don't know. Now you see the results. So more than half of you know. I promise I will not bore you now, but I will just tell you briefly something about Innovation Lab so that we are sure that everybody can follow then the presentation by our dear speakers. So what is it? An Innovation Lab or an iLab is actually a concept that comes from the business world, the entrepreneurial world. And it is an inspirational and innovative space divided into smaller facilities. One is the room for brainstorming for the core activities. It's the picture that you see on top, an example from one of the schools. So here is where students, in the case of schools, professional, in the case of companies, they work together they use technology, they experiment new things and new topics, and they brainstorm to solve some problem, to think of an idea to develop. The other one that you see in the picture below is the breakout space. So it's a room for relaxing, rethinking, chatting about what just happened in the main session. So these are the two main spaces. And an Ilab is characterized by three key elements. First is the environment, because as you see, these are not the typical school classroom. So it's very important that they don't look like a school classroom. So they need to have a creative style, like furniture that is not really conventional. You see moving chairs, for example. They have bright colors that really stimulate the students' creativity, and they can be really decorated in many different ways. The second characteristic is technology. As you see in the first picture, there are different kinds of technologies, and this is really a core feature of an Ilab, because thanks to technology, you can really do many things and explore many ideas of session that can lead really to learning in a fun way. And finally, the facilitator, that can be the same person as the teacher, but it is mainly a facilitator. It's more a facilitator than a teacher.
Julia,
and why? Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption, but we still see the results of the question, the survey.
Yeah, of course. Sorry for that. Thank you, Bea. Okay, so just to show you what I was talking about, these are the two rooms I was talking about. So the first one on top with the technology and the different kind of furniture that we can implement, and then the breakout room, the other picture that you see below. Sorry for that. So, of course, introducing this kind of environment in schools leaves a lot of space for collaboration, working together, boosting the kids' creativity, and it's a kind of simulation of a future business life or entrepreneurial life. What we developed in our project are two main results. So the first one is a brainstorming platform. You have the link here, and you will receive it also in the chat. It's basically the software that you see used in the picture on the right. So software that helps to organize ideas, organize the brainstorming, also rate the ideas, so help to find the best idea. And it's really flexible, because actually when the project started, it was before the pandemic, so this was meant to be used in the classroom, but then actually schools had to use it also online, and it worked anyway, so it can be used in two ways. And the second result is the Ilab guide that is currently being developed. It's almost ready. It will be available in English, Croatian, Italian, Bulgarian, Portuguese, Greek, and Hungarian. And it's strongly based on the experience of teachers within our projects, teachers who actually try to implement these Ilabs in school. And therefore, based on this experience, we gave some guidelines for other teachers that want to do the same. So we have contents are skills needed for the 21st century, a questionnaire that can help what are the actual needs of teachers and students, what are the Ilab's elements in detail, so those that I mentioned before, the environment, the software and technology, and the facilitator. Then a list of techniques, methodologies, digital tools that can be used in the Ilab to engage students, tables with Ilab sessions that have been done by our school partners with advice and tips to implement them. We have done templates for evaluation and self-assessment of the work done in the Ilab, some fun and not so fun facts that happened, told by our teachers, and finally some recommendations. So I really recommend to stay tuned and follow us in our channels to have this guide that is downloadable, free to everyone to use. So now I would pass to I would give the floor to our speakers, starting from Susanna from Portugal, Alcanena, who will tell us a little bit about how they implemented the Ilab in Portugal, how it looked like, and some tips for teachers that want to do the same. Let me activate your microphone, Susanna. You have to click on the microphone because you're muted.
Okay, now?
Yeah. Yes, perfect.
And you can see my presentation? Yes? Is it okay? Can you see it?
Yes, we can see it. It's okay.
Okay. Hello. Greetings to all of you. It's an honor to be here representing the AEA, Alcanena School Cluster in Portugal. So I'm very pleased to be here. I am Susanna Sanchez. I'm the coordinator of the Ilab project, and I'm here to present some of the work that we have developed in these last years regarding the creation and the use of the Ilabs. I don't know if it's still on the same.
We have the first slide. You can go to the next one.
I don't think. I'm trying, but
okay. Maybe try you see on you have the control panel, the GoToWebinar control panel. Try to close it. There is an arrow. Try to click on the arrow on top left, and then maybe
no. Sharing. I have sharing. Audience view. No.
You don't see the orange arrow?
Yes. Hide control.
Okay, and then try now to move and go to the next slide.
No.
Okay, then I will share it for you. I have your presentation.
Thank you. I send you.
No problem. Just 1 second.
It's stuck here.
Sorry for that. I'll be there in a second. Maybe while I look for your presentation, maybe we can hear from Ilias. What do you think, so that we don't keep people waiting? Okay for you, Ilias, if I share your screen?
Yes,
okay,
of course.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Ilias.
No problem.
Yes, after it. Okay, thank you.
So, hello everyone. My name is Ilias Bajogiannis, and I'm here on behalf of Plato Schools of Katerini, Greece. And I will try to show to you how this experience was for the last 2 years for our teachers and our students also through this project. So I will just share my presentation. I hope that you can all see it.
Yeah, it's okay.
So, what is an Ilab? Let's start from this one. It is an inspirational, innovative facility designed to transport users from their everyday environments into an extraordinary space, encouraging creativity and innovative thinking, as well as collaborative work towards problem solving through a mix of on-purpose environment, technology, and facilitation techniques. So, I have to tell you that when I first read it, it didn't look so easy for me to understand what we were supposed to do. But of course, there were some partners in this project. So we started with a kickoff meeting, the first transnational meeting of the project, Ilab, which was held in Sofia in 2019, the December of 2019. And there were a few minutes to present ourselves and the organizations, and further continued with the overview of the Ilab project activities and the description in details of intellectual outputs 1 and 2, and the concept guide and online software, which I will tell you more about it during this presentation. So we had the second transnational project meeting and learning and teaching activities in our school in Katerini, which was in February of 2020, just before the pandemic started in the whole world. So during these 3 days, the partners worked together on interesting ideas on how to improve the quality of the project. So we exchanged some ideas about what should we do. Then we had the problems due to the COVID-19, so we had to work from home. You can see here the group of the students and teachers that started working on the project. Mostly the students had the ideas of how to create the Ilab in our school, and you can see here first draft. You can see it here in a bigger sketch. So they had these ideas of having some computers, television, that we can use as a projector, these round tables that they can work in teams, a sofa here that they can work in a more relaxed and different way, some posters. And this was the first draft idea that we had of our Ilab. So you can see some photographs of the class as it was before, a regular class as you have seen in other schools. And here are some pictures about the procedure of transforming a normal class to an Ilab. And as you can see, our students worked in this project. They were really glad to help, and they wanted to do it because they felt that this classroom, this new Ilab, would be their project. So they came here during weekends in order to work and to create the Ilab as they imagined it. And I will just share a small video of how this room was created with some pictures and some small videos of it. So as you can see, they painted the whole room and they worked on assembling the rest of the furniture inside the Ilab with the help of mine, with the facilitation of mine, I would say, because the students did most of the job. And as you can see, it started to take form, the round tables that I told you before, that our students chose to have there, that you can combine them in different ways. The sofa and the blackboard in the back that we can write some ideas while we're brainstorming, also through the platform that you will see that it was created. So this was a small video about how we created our Ilab and some static pictures that you can see from our room. As you can see, it was mostly as the first draft with small changes that came up during the procedure of the creation of the Ilab room. So we had the Ilab room, but we needed to say a few things more about how to use it. It was time for our second international project meeting, which was held in Alcanena in Portugal, June this year. So we had the chance to talk about our iLabs that were created and how to use it. And the most important goal of the meeting was to discuss the development of intellectual outputs and present their outcomes. So the partners talked about the establishment of the new activities and deadlines for Gantt chart that we had from the beginning of the project. At the same time, we also had the learning, teaching, and training activities, also in the same school. So the partners had created some sessions about the iLab room and how we can use it. So we had the chance to have some pilots with the students and see how these sessions worked, if they worked well or not, so we can make some adjustments. And all the partners presented at least one such session. So for our school, these are the 10 sessions that we had to create for the project. You can see all different type of sessions, like creating your escape room, create your own company, how was life in ancient Greek times, democracy, ancient Greek times vs nowadays, make your robot move, about robotics, the death penalty, climate change, how can we make our city better, save the planet, save energy, and internet addiction. As you can see, we have different topics which were held from different type of teachers that had to do with Greek literature, teachers that had to do with STEM, with robotics, and all different type of classes. So, as I told you before, this project also had to create a platform about brainstorming that was really interesting to use during the classroom. So we had this big board, as we can say, presented in a TV or a projector, and students could use their mobile phones or a laptop, a tablet, or a regular PC in order to write some ideas about the brainstorming. The final version of the platform was presented by our partners in Hungary, Trebek, and we had some time in Budapest to work on this platform and exchange ideas about how we could use it in the best way. Here are some pictures from the sessions that we had with our students, and as you can see in the upper right corner, a picture of the platform about the brainstorming, and some more pictures over here about our sessions with less students. We had classes from 8 till 25 students, so we had to adapt and use the iLab room in different ways. And here I have some a small presentation of the sessions that we had. And as teachers used to say, this is a lesson plan, and you can see how it was divided. In the first part that we had for the creation of the escape room, 10 to 15 minutes discussion about escape rooms and small presentation about it, 30 minutes about the brainstorming, generally about escape room and some feedback. And then we had to categorize the riddles and the story. So we used again the brainstorming platform for 10 minutes just for riddles. We had some feedback, some discussion about them, and then 10 minutes brainstorming about the story of the escape room and some feedback. And in total, we needed 90 minutes for this session. I have some more here, but I don't want to use the time of the other speakers. I believe that you will have a copy of this presentation, so you can have some more time to see more detailed about how you can also use it, or get some ideas about how you can use our platform that we created mostly about the brainstorming, because these 10 sessions have all of them used this brainstorming platform. And as you can see, while I'm speaking, we had sessions from 90 minutes till 120 minutes. So we are talking about 2 to 3 school hours for these sessions. And that was it from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. And I'm ready if you have some questions that you would like to make about, or I don't know, Julia, if we have time now or at the end.
Yes, we have time. Well, I prefer to gather the questions and then we answer them later. You can write it in the chat already, so we don't forget. And this presentation of a lesson plan that you saw will also be included in the Ilab guide. So you will have everything when we publish the guide. And do not hesitate to contact us for any questions. Thank you, Ilias. This was
You're
the
welcome.
experience from Greece. So now I think it's a bit more clear what is an Ilab in school, a Ilab. And now let's go to Portugal with Susanna. I will share your presentation. You can activate your microphone, Susanna. Yes, here you are.
Okay.
Perfect.
So
just tell me when you want to switch slides. I will do it.
Yes. Okay. So I'm here again. I'm back for good. So I would like to. You can move to the next slide, please, Julia. Thank you. So the first steps of our work, as I was saying, I'm here to present some of the work that we have developed in these last years regarding the creation and the use of the Ilabs. And so there are several steps that we have taken along the way. So first steps, concentration problems detected in younger students, and the Ilab as a solution for it. Initially, concentration problems among younger students began to be detected, especially in the primary school. So a solution was necessary. It's when the idea of the Ilab space began to emerge. Then another phase in these first steps was the involvement of teachers and students in the creation of the Ilab space. Teachers and students were consulted and a strategic action plan was launched. It aimed at creating a learning environment where students would feel comfortable and at the same time they feel eager to learn, to investigate, to collaborate, to create, and where the technology devices would be at hand. So a space which congregates the trinomial space, technology, and pedagogy. In this first phase, a survey was conducted regarding the equipment and the space's functionality, bearing in mind the students' needs and the specific activities that we would develop in this Ilab, in this space. So another phase now, starting to equip the Ilab. It's another part of the creation of the Ilab. So some equipment was reused, like for instance the aquarium, the sofas, the some bookshelves, and some countertops also, but most of the equipment, especially the technological equipment, was acquired using funds from students' participation in national and international science contests. So these funds were used especially to buy cameras and tablets and computers and robots and drones, etc. So in the last one that is here identified is the teacher's training plan, and it's a very important phase in the creation of an Ilab. So when the Ilab was installed, a teacher training plan was designed so that teachers would be able to develop not only their technological skills, but also pedagogical ones, aiming at experimenting new active methodologies. So when teachers start to become more comfortable with these new methodologies and new technologies, they started to use more and more the Ilab classroom. Here is the a picture photograph of our first Ilab classroom. It's called Sala do Futuro, the Futures classroom, and it has the different spaces, as you can see, different areas, as you can see, and the students are all involved doing different things at the same time. They are working in a collaborative way, so they are very engaged in what they are doing. And I will next, with Julia, I will present the different spaces and talk a little bit about the different spaces in this specific Ilab that we have in our school. There are different areas. There's here an area for image, that's the image station. And there are camcorders, there are the green panel here, different materials there to do some image presentations to film. Here we have right beside me, we have the zone of production, and it has an interactive touch board. It has also an interactive touch table. There's active expression devices for students to wear, but most of the times we just wear the mobile phones because it's easier. And we have also a different area for sharing ideas. That's opposite where I'm seated at this moment. It's a whiteboard, and in this whiteboard there are erasers and pencils and pens that they can write there in this wall to share their ideas, to debate, discuss, to create a scheme work. So it's very easy to implement this space in an Ilab, and it's quite useful to do it. So in the middle, we have these mobile chairs that are very practical to group and to implement work, collaborative work. And also we have in this side by the window, we have the programming and robotic station, and in this station we have robots and drones and augmented virtual reality, and also we have a relaxing zone, the chill out zone. So it's right beside me, and as a column, a water column, It has some optic fibers. It has sofas, so it's very relaxing. The optic fibers and the water column change the colors along the time, as time goes by, and so it has also the aquarium. It's a very relaxing zone. So we have also here by this part where are the interactive touchboard. We have also the 3D printer. So another different zone to work and to develop our projects. And now you can go to the next slide, please. Thank you, Julia. So, but this is not the only classroom, Ilab classroom that we have in our cluster. So we have another one. This one that you can see in the image is the Maker's Lab. It's called the Maker's Lab. It is also with some very practical furniture. We can move the chairs and the tables, and we can put different layouts, design different layouts in this classroom to do different kinds of activities. We have also the interactive touchboard and some robotics materials here by the windows, next to the windows, as you can see. So it's a very colorful and a very interesting and dynamic classroom. So please, Julia, you can go to the next one. This is an example of a project that was developed on the Ilab. The 12th grade science students created a machine to distribute juice in the supermarkets, the commercial surfaces, so that customers would use their own bottle, which would be disinfected using ultraviolet radiation, reducing the pollution caused by plastic. In order to develop this project, they need to have some skills, and so they were trained. For example, they were trained in Arduino with a college teacher that came to our school and did a training with our students. The photograph on the left shows part of this formation. It's an example of one of the sessions that they had to learn how to program in Arduino, and also a computer technology teacher at our school taught them to work in Scratch and to program and use the 3D printer. As you can see in the photograph in the middle, they are using the 3D printer and the program, they are programmed in the interactive touchboard. So they carried out also economic studies on the viability of the product, and they competed in a national and in a national entrepreneurship competition, and they won the first prize. So it ended up to be a very interesting project, very complete, with lots of skills being developed by the students along all the process. So I hope I have given some interesting ideas on how to create and use an Ilab, and I want to thank you all very much for all your attention.
Thanks to you, Susanna, and congrats on your good work to you as well. If you have any questions for Susanna, just write them in the questions bar and we will answer them. So yes. Now I give the floor to Anita from Croatia. I will share your screen. There you are. Wait, we cannot hear you yet.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Now you can.
Now we can.
Okay. Okay, good. And you see my screen well, right?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, good. So, once again, hello to everybody. It's Anita from Croatia. And once again, congratulate all the colleagues who came to Croatia and did a lot of work. I think you're still tired since it was very, very intensive. Okay, so we'll tell you something what we did in our school. Okay, so our pilot sessions were held during regular classes within the cross-curricular topics of civic education, learning how to learn, entrepreneurship, personal and social development, sustainable development, health, and ICT. And one part of our pilot sessions were held at the end of the school year 2021, and the other part was held at the beginning of the school year 21-22, and this is when we got our newly furnished classroom. There are 4 teachers included in the project and facilitating. That's my colleagues Dora, Laura, Nina, and myself. And the principal was the coordinator of the project, Jane Sklavnik. Okay. In the photo, you can see our classroom. And since our school is technologically an advanced school with respect to the equipment and the students' and teachers' ability to use it, we concentrated on strategies and skills of our students. Still, of course, in our Ilab classroom, we have a smart board, desk computer, Wi-Fi, speakers, access to tablets, and we've also used Trebek Brainstorming app in our sessions, and our school has a 3D printer, VR glasses, robocars, and Arduino microcontrollers. So technologically, we are in a good place. Our first focus was to create modular, innovative, and inspirational space or a classroom, the so-called Ilab. And our furniture came in August of 2021. And that's where our students decorated the classroom. So we were all into quality of our space. We wanted to make it a place to relax, a place to grow and learn, and where the students would feel comfortable so they could be creative. Our second focus was to apply new strategies and new skills and to experiment and innovate. We did have some problems during COVID. First, there was a delay of furniture, and some of the sessions we held needed to be held online since our classes were online as well. Okay, so this is something more about the pilot sessions. Skills we practiced during our pilot sessions, or skills we believe the students need to have, is to be open-minded, to be entrepreneurship, to work on their social and business entrepreneurship. They should be thinking outside the box, be creative, innovative, and mindful. And we believe that these all are life skills which will to be useful later when they go to college and when they start their working life. Our students tell us that it's a cool place to be. It's a great place to start thinking, to have different ways of teaching, and to get ideas. You will see what sessions we thought of, and it's quite easy to measure the student engagement. So your students can create project targets, or you can create exit cards, or self-evaluation, assessment, from mere raising hands to use it some digital tools. Okay, so our pilot sessions, we did them in 8 different classes. In classes, the 4 of us teach. There are about 25 students in each class, so we reached a large number of students. We could not mix different classes because of the restrictions, scheduling. So even when they did work, they worked in a team next to the students. With the students they sit next to. Sessions are 5 or 90-minute sessions, and we use the brainstorming app that Trebag has created for us. We noticed that sometimes more challenging extra materials should be ready for some students who are quite gifted, and they really think outside the box. They think outside the second box. Okay. And we should also be flexible with time management, because sometimes their ideas are they have great ideas and they need more time, since they need to develop them even more. So we concentrated on problem-solving skills, on innovative thinking, and session skills, which would be later useful in life. And now here you can see some of the sessions we talked about. So there was a session about making a vlog. So this is quite popular today. So we believe that our students would benefit from knowing how to make a vlog. The second was creating socially responsible businesses. So they had to create a business plan and follow it. Planning a trip from the idea of a destination, they needed to pay attention to the budget and organize everything from accommodation to transport and sites. Creating identity, what is identity to them, and should they change it or not? How to become an active citizen. Making art, this is the session where they decorated the classroom. And then we talked about renewable sources of energy. Would they work in our region? Since these are challenging times, we thought it was important to make one session about health, and another business one about painting, since you probably know the goal was terrible at telling kids painting. And this was something the students liked a lot. Also is how to create an extra curricular activity. So these are our session topics, and all of them have been described in detail in and this is our conclusion, and we have a photo here to show you. We concluded that an excellent teacher needs to be prepared for the classroom activities, of course, but he also needs to be a master of improvisation, since you never know what will happen when you're into ideas and creating plans. And we learned that innovation, creativity, and improvisation actually go hand in hand. And this is it from the presentation. I will just show you a short video of what we did. Sorry. So these photos are the photos that we're taking during the piloting sessions. So they're discovering what is important to make a vlog, how to reach the potential clients, then how important mental health is, and how to build a positive identity. You can see some cute photos when they were little and how they developed and what affects their personality. Then we created a socially responsible business, which would affect our region and our surrounding. This is the classroom. You can see now with the white wall, final product. Active. Our students love the chairs and the tables. They can move them around. They can work in groups. And this is what the walls look like in the process. This is our students painting the walls. And this is them being happy and satisfied with what they've learned. Okay. And this is it from Croatia.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you very much. Indeed, the Ilab partners had the chance to visit the Ilab and the school last week. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, but there were a lot of activities happening in Rijeka last week. So if you want to know more, visit our social media. There are a lot of pictures also about the Ilab. Yeah, this is the everything that happened. It's really a lot. So congrats for organizing that. Yeah, so you see 5 full days. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Q&A. Last but not least, we are now listening to the experience from Bulgaria, from another Anita. I will now share your screen. Activate your microphone.
Hello, hi from Bulgaria. Let me just share.
Hello, Anita.
Presentation. Can you see our presentation now?
Not yet. Yes, now I do. Just put it full screen.
Okay, good. Excellent. Just a second. Okay. Hello from Bulgaria. We heard a lot about the Ilab and the experience of the other colleagues. What happened, Julia? Do you see the presentation? It's okay because it's not okay with me. Okay, I see it now. I mean, is it full screen? Just confirm.
No, it was before.
No, something happened. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to present the Ilab of our school, the Professional School of Ecology and Biotechnologies in Sofia, Bulgaria, Professor Dr. Senzotarov. You've already seen the Ilabs of our colleagues, and they are all different and they are all interesting. When we developed the idea of our Ilab, it was based on the major which our students study, and these are ecology, biotechnology, and chemistry. It wasn't an easy process because we needed to develop an Ilab which will serve our needs and of course will be interesting for the students. We had requirements to the place. The room had to be bright and spacey, easily transformable, and in considerably good state of paint and form. It should be used good for the equipment we've chosen. We started working on our Ilab in 2020, but because of the COVID situation, we were not able to finish it very quickly, and this was the room which we chose to transform. This is the situation before we made it our Ilab. This was an ordinary classroom with some old furniture, a place of let's say 40 square meters. We took away the unnecessary furniture, of course, and we had these 4 side desks which were suitable for our purposes. We just needed to redecorate it and to buy some new chairs and some new equipment. So we visited some websites, we exchanged ideas with colleagues, and we had these enthusiasts who were very willing to participate in the decoration process, our students, with some posters, some sofa covers, with some decoration of these old tables. We managed to make very cozy and very suitable place. We focused on, here's some more pictures, our happy students with the place which they've done themselves. We focused mainly on the technology. We managed to, with a reasonable budget, to provide very good projectors, multimedia, computers, and everything. And you see, we use them for the brainstorming platform, and not only. And of course, our students have the technology in their hands all the time, just like any teenager. All of our sessions were successful. Some of them were also recorded, but I'll share with you maybe the three most successful sessions. The first one was the pyramid discussion. It was provoked by a conflict in one of the classes. We had let's say, a problem with one of the students. And this was an idea to implement some innovative ideas and to also practice the modal verbs of obligation and prohibition. My colleagues, the English teachers, know what I mean, and all of you, of course. Why was it successful? First, because it was fun for the students to participate. And this is a successful session because it can be used for large classes and for any school subject. Students learn to work in a team. You know, this is one of the very useful 20th century skills, working in a team or in pairs, and they have to be prepared for the college and the labor market, just like what Anita said. In the classroom, it was useful to practice different functions, different range of functions. They were arguing, they were putting forward their opinion, and also they were summarizing. Another useful, very good session with very useful results was the session where we used the 6 thinking heads idea. It was very new for the students. They were not familiar with it. We had a competition of developing a business idea, and the winner was the Rainbow Pancakes business idea. Students, they were very excited, and it was very useful to develop their thinking skills. It fostered their imagination. Also, this 6 thinking heads idea is very largely used in the business area. And if they want to be good entrepreneurs in the future, they have to know how to work and to develop ideas. And you know, entrepreneurship is one of the leading skills for young and not only young people. And let's say the last but not least successful session was the game show classroom. What was successful about this session was that it was held outdoors. You know, because of the pandemic situation, we are constantly trying to stay outside whenever it's possible. And it was just an ordinary quizzes session, but held outdoors. It was very, let's say, relaxing for the students, and also changing the environment. And this is one of our recommendations for our colleagues who want to implement innovative learning. Changing the environment usually fosters the imagination, makes students more relaxed, and they are willing to participate more actively. And this is, let's say, our tips for everybody who wants to implement new ideas. No matter how well designed and innovative a place is, it is interesting when it is new and unknown. When students get familiar to it, it's no longer a challenge. This is why the Ilab should be planned and created wise. It should be easily transformable and suit different purposes. This is diversity, which fosters the curiosity and students' creativity. And that's all from me and from us. And if there are any questions, we can share our experience.
Thank you very much, Anita. Congrats to you as well for the good job. I haven't received any questions so far, but please do. In the meantime, before switching to the second part of the webinar, I do have one question. So if all speakers can please open the webcam, and we do a short round table on this. I was curious to know, now that the project is coming to an end, so what will you do next with this nice space that you created? So will you do the same sessions with more students, or will you create new ones? How will you use this space in the future? Ilias, if you want to go first. Your microphone. Yes. Yes, try to speak, please. I cannot hear you, although your microphone is open. No. Maybe remove your earphones. I don't know if you change some settings. It's really strange. Try now. It's really strange. Susanna, maybe we go on with you while Ilias tries to fix it. You can check the audio settings, Ilias, in GoToWebinar.
And you can hear me now, Julia?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. We'll answering your question. We'll be continuing using our Ilab, certainly. We have lots of ideas on how to use it, different ideas, new ideas. It will involve certainly all the levels of teaching that we have in our cluster. Since the small ones, the younger students, the primary school, I forgot to say just before that we are starting to implement a new Ilab in a new Ilab classroom in our new primary school, which is really a new building, and I'm sure that all the primary teachers are very, very enthusiastic about profit this new classroom that they will have just in the next months. So they are very enthusiastic about it. They have ideas already to do work with the younger students, and also with the help certainly of collaboration with the school, the secondary school, namely in what concerns the science part, because we used to collaborate with them, and also the science center of Alviela, which is a science center nearby. They would also help them to implement the use of that new classroom, new Ilab. And here in the secondary school, we have two Ilab classrooms, as I have shown before, and we have lots of ideas on how to use them. This year I have already 4 different projects of my classes, me and my colleagues, especially the teachers, biology teachers, math teachers. It involves almost everyone, so they are always all of them involved in these Ilab sessions. So I'm sure it will continue to be very, very used almost each and every day.
Perfect. Wonderful to hear that. Ilias, does it work now?
That you
Yes,
can hear me now?
it does.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So yes, we're going to use it, of course, in the future. For the time that we're allowed to be face-to-face inside the classes. Our students love being there, and they always ask to have a session there because they understand that it is a totally different way of teaching and learning inside this Ilab. And as they say all the time, they prefer to be there and have this different way of learning for themselves. So, of course, we will keep trying to create new sessions for them. And of course, by working with our partners, having different ideas from them, and maybe use something different for our school and for our students.
Great. Anita Jokic, are you there? If so, please activate your webcam so we can see you. Okay, all right. You want to go next?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Yeah, I was just asking everybody. So now what's the plan with these nice iLabs that you created? So how are you going to
First of all,
use
we're
it?
waiting for COVID to stop so we can mix and match and open the space to new ideas. And we plan to include other colleagues from maths and chemistry, biology, so they continue working in the iLab and take it to a new level, next level, not new.
Yes, let's hope that it will be soon over with COVID. And Anita Karimova, what about you? You are muted. Wait a second. Now
Yes,
you can.
thank you. Yeah, I couldn't unmute it. Sure, we will continue using our iLab because it's not this, you see, special, but it suits our needs. And many of our sessions were related to ecology, history, geography. So other colleagues, not only STEM or English teachers, use the iLab, and it will be still a preferable place to have some classes there because of the high tech we have implemented in the room, the screen and everything. And this nice sofa corner there is the favorite to our students because they like relaxing there, sharing ideas, working in teams. But still, in our opinion, innovations should be implemented in all classes, especially when working with teenagers, just like our students, because, you know, by default, teenagers are bored and they have to be waken up. Their creativity should be fostered. That's why we will always think of new ideas, implement innovative ideas in order to foster their interest and to prepare them for their future lives. So the iLab is very, very useful.
Yes, good to hear these nice examples. We hope that we can inspire other teachers that are with us today. Thank you, everyone. So now I have another question for the audience, because you have seen that in all presentation, the topic of social entrepreneurship came up really often, and it's really important to introduce that in school from an early age, and that's what we're going to talk about in the remaining time. But I wanted to ask the audience this question that now you see on your screen. Does your school or organization, if you're a training organization, provide training on entrepreneurship or social entrepreneurship? It can be any kind of training, like an extensive one or just some events. Okay, answers are coming. Okay, so far we have a majority of yes. We'll now stop the survey, share with you the results. So it's good to hear this. So most of you actually is already engaged with the social entrepreneurship training. So now I thank you, like the panelists. You can now turn off your webcam, and if you can stay with us, would be great until the end. I just want to show you a short presentation about another project that we are working on with Eurocrea Merchant as a partner, dealing with social entrepreneurship in school. And this can be another idea on what to do in the Ilab classroom, because this project has developed a training on an e-learning platform that can really be used inside the Ilab environment, in my opinion, and combined with the sessions that we already have in our guide and that will soon be available to everybody. So I'll share with you now the presentation very briefly. This is another Erasmus Plus project that has a duration of 2 years, involving 8 partners, of which schools and some technical partners. You can see the project website, and the goal is to prepare students and skill them with competencies that are important to contribute to the social economy, and also strengthen the cooperation between school and business. So this is the main goal. This is a project that is almost finishing. The main results that are already available are a social entrepreneurship competence guide. You can find everything on the project website that is coming also in the chat. And here we, thanks to some surveys that we did among teachers of the school partners, and not only, we managed to create some guidance on what are the social entrepreneurship skills needed for starting a social business. We also have a case study book which collects some social entrepreneurship experiences from the partner countries and then can inspire students. So it's a study book that can be read by students. It's very friendly. It's not a long reading and very visual. And most importantly, the biggest result we have, it's this training platform that I'm going to show you, where we have a training course on social entrepreneurship in English, Italian, Spanish, Bulgarian, Greek, and Romanian, so far at least. And we have 8 modules of training to introduce social entrepreneurship learning into the school. But not only to learn. The whole course is designed with a methodology that really takes an idea and it tries to develop it throughout the course. And at the end of the course, the students will have a social business model. So it is really a pedagogical path to working groups at school, but also online, following the training on the platform, and start developing an idea step by step, and until the final step, that is when the business model will be more or less complete. So these are the topics. We have an introduction to social entrepreneurship. Topic 2 is Desire Idea Lab, where actually the students come up with their idea and try to find a good idea that is relevant. Then we have customer development, value proposition, social business model, marketing, human resources and networking, fundraising and financing. What I want to do now is to show you directly on the platform how it looks. This is already online. Okay, I have to share the full screen because you don't see that. Just 1 second. Okay, so this is the training platform. I am now on the main dashboard. I am logged in already, but if you don't have an account, the first step is to create one. And I'm going to show you how you can use it as a teacher. So as I told you, it is a blended course, and it's meant to be done in groups. So first of all, you should create some groups in the classroom. We work with projects in this platform. So if you log in and you create an account, you can see the projects that have already been developed by other teachers. Basically, we have one project per group, and you can name your project, select your picture, and so each group will work on one project. So I will show you how to create a project. It's quite easy. You select the industry, for example, education, the stage of development. You can select the language. This is important because according to what you select, then you have the course available in that language. If you want to do it in another language, you have to create another project. You can select the sustainable development goals that your project is linked to. This can be changed afterwards, because maybe when you create the group first, you will not have the idea yet. So it's possible to change it later, but you can select those that maybe are more important for your group. Finally, you select the country, the city, the website. It can be the website of your school, for example. And then you create the project. You click here. After that, the project will be approved by the administrators, and it will appear on your dashboard. So now I didn't create it, but because I already have one that I'm using as a test. It's called Desire English, just to show you the methodology and the contents in English. Of course, you can also just register on the platform, create a project, or join an existing project and just see what are the contents. And this is still in development stage, so if you have any feedback, you can also let us know so we can improve it. Once you're here, you can click on Explore Business Model, and from here you can go through all the different topics, the ones that I presented to you before. There are 8 modules in total. There are assessments that the kids can take on the platform, but also there are face-to-face activities. There are face-to-face activities that then can be reported on the platform by writing a short summary of it. It's necessary to complete every chapter before moving to the next one. In each chapter, you have an introduction, some key concepts with keywords that are important, some readings, and then you can move to the next one, and you can see the progression here. You can see that you can complete assignments. For example, here I have already tried it, writing just test as an answer. The assignment details are here, and then it can be also be updated. So here you would write the answer as a group or as an individual student, but the idea is to work in groups, as I said. And once you have completed that, you can move to the next topic. This is the introduction of entrepreneurship. You scroll down, you mark as read, and you go on like this. I just wanted to show you another assignment. Yes, for example, here I haven't done my assignment yet. So I click on Start Assignment. And I have the explanation, watch the video. And here I can write my answer as a student. This is the content with all the material. This is the idea. We also will have this available as a PDF. If you don't wish to use the platform, we have the contents as PDFs. They will be uploaded on the website very soon. At the moment, we are testing this platform. So we are testing it with students and teachers from different countries. So it will still be improved. And what we are also working on is a memorandum of understanding that we will share with schools from other countries, and even you if you're interested. And this memorandum of understanding will kind of endorse this social entrepreneurship training program. It's a non-binding document, but it will be a kind of statement from your school that you are committed to introduce these competencies in school, as you are doing maybe already with the school innovation labs. This is a further step towards school innovation that you can take. So I encourage you to again have a look at the website of the project. I'll now give you all the references. Here they are. So you have all the references of the Ilab project, also of the Desire project. As I told you, for both projects, we will have news coming very soon. You also have my contact in case you are interested in signing the memorandum of understanding for the training on social entrepreneurship. Just contact me, or even if you have any questions, you want to read it, you want to comment on the training platform, or you want to participate in a pilot training about the training platform, there's still time for that because the project ends in May 2022. So we are very open and we wish to collaborate and create synergies among Erasmus Plus projects as much as possible. So there are a lot of teachers and educators in the audience, so feel free really to get in touch with us and let's explore collaboration opportunities. So we are almost up with the time. I wanted to ask if there's any other question to the speakers or to me, or maybe not questions, but just comments. You have 4 minutes more to. I don't see any. Okay, I don't see any questions. So I take the chance once again to thank everybody, especially our panelists, but also the participants who stay with us until the end. It has been really nice. I hope you learned something from today. I hope that you are inspired, most importantly, to replicate these best practices. And once again, stay tuned really, because the guide is coming soon, and I promise you, you will find it very, very useful. So thank you once again. Have a nice end of the afternoon, and I hope to see you soon in another event. Last but not least, you will receive by email and also in the chat an evaluation questionnaire, because we would like to improve, if possible, the materials that we presented to you. Please, Bea, if you can send the questionnaire in the chat before closing. We will also receive it by email anyway. Thank you. So just click on it before closing the webinar. It's quite short, so do it now that you're still fresh. Okay. And,
thank you, Julia. Have a very nice weekend. At the end of the day. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Bye.